Hey everyone, I'm Wes Sego, and this is AVF Term 1304. This is the Week 4 demo app review, and this week I'm going to start off talking a little bit about what was different, or what I would do differently if I were starting this over again, and probably the first and foremost on my list. One thing that I learned was, in the beginning I started out with just throwing everything together on the page. Um, and then in the second week came back and started to make it responsive, and that's absolutely not the way to do this. I mean, I should have rewritten it in week 2, but time is really short, and I didn't. And I struggled with that for the remaining couple of weeks because, once the part or the padding and the margins are all set up, um, I should have made it responsive from the beginning. But, live and learn. I mean, that was a really good lesson that I got from this class. Um, Second and foremost, I'm not going to talk too much. I don't want to be on a negative note about Android and Eclipse and that whole process, but something's got to be, hopefully some people will get together and make something better than Eclipse. But in the future, anytime that I start a project, I'll definitely make my workspace the same as my GitHub repo so that I'm not constantly fighting that. I ran into an issue with copy and pasting that did some bad things, and I never really got it 100% figured out. I mean, in my Android emulator, I always had a problem somewhere with just right from the get-go. After so many minutes, the thing will time out. It's related to the Cordova files, and I never had a chance to get into that and wrap my head around it. But you know, live and learn again. But the next thing that I did this week was I got myself finally bought a copy of Air Server, and oh my gosh, what a just great tool that is. So that's going to make it a lot easier to finish up this video. And the last thing I'd say is that I went back and watched the week 4 um, Thursday or Friday night session, and one of the things that Jen said was make a list of everything you want to do, and I actually did that, and I kind of had it prioritized by what do I need to do to get my app on the rubric, what would I like to do to learn, and what would I like to do to make my app better, and that's kind of how I prioritized it. So the little things that would have made my app a lot better, I really just put those at the bottom of my priority list because I wanted to, number one, obviously get what I needed to do done for the grade, but also I thought it was a lot more important for me to learn some things while I was doing it. I mean, I kind of went down a lot of little paths that um, it was just really exciting. So as far as my mashups go, hopefully you won't consider it a cop-out, but I did both of mine based on geolocation. I had my weather app in there, or my weather data feed, and originally I had it hard-coded with my zip code for where I live, and so what I did was I just changed that to use geolocation to get the longitude and latitude for wherever the device is whenever you hit it, and it would feed that information in, so it would give you the weather, or it will give you the weather for where that device is right at that moment. And the second one, being that it's an astronomy app, I went out and I looked at a lot of different JSON APIs. I found a really cool one that gives sun moon information. It gives moon phases. So I did the exact same thing by feeding that geolocation information to it. I could not only get, the moon phase. The moon goes through a 28-day cycle. That's doesn't matter where you are, but as far as illumination and angles of illumination, that stuff changes based on where you are on the Earth. So it hits it with the exact longitude and latitude again. So that there's some pretty cool information there. And I also did find I didn't do a mashup with it, but I played around a lot with the NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory has a JSON data feed that gives right ascension and declination coordinates for over 1 million items in space. So, from anything from galaxies and nebulas and the types of things that you like to look at, right down to the Hubble Space Telescope, satellites, uh, nuts and bolts that have been left in space that are being tracked. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. That's going to lead somewhere in the future. Have a way to track that stuff. But we'll try to move this on. Demo my app real quick for you on the Android. Um, I have it here on the Google Nexus 7. Let's start it up, see if you can see it. And basically just like it was last week. See if you can see that. Yeah. Let me turn this other monitor off because that's a whole lot of glare. Let's see. So we've got, I did add the icons over here to my Twitter feed, which wasn't too wild about the way they came out, but again, there was a padding issue that I just couldn't get past. But I have my research there. I added my third week of research. And over here for the weather, again, it looks the same, but it's actually pulling in the information for right now where we are. You see I have a little picture up there of a cloud, and had I had time, I would have created like a number of different icons so that you could have had a cloudy one, a rainy one, a sunny one, a hail, sleet, snow, whatever. But getting down here to the bottom one, this is the next one that I liked a lot. This is the moon phase information. And you notice I did do that here. It basically gives you the moon phase, and unfortunately, right now where we are, it's kind of boring because the moon phase currently is a waxing or a waning crescent. So, and all 3 days are the same. But you'll notice that I've got some pictures in there, and basically there are 28 different pictures, images in a separate folder. And I tied that, I married it to the date, the age and days. So, if the moon's 14 days old, there's going to be a JPEG in there or a GIF file in there that's moon14.gif. And with JavaScript, I just pull in moon, grab that date, add that to it, truncate it, and that's how I get the different pictures in there. So that's what it looks like. So I'll demo it for you on the iPad where you can see it. It'll be a little bit clearer. So. Okay, this is, I'm going to go ahead and start up Air Server and show you exactly how this looks on my iPad. Okay, go over and we'll start the app up. Actually, I'm going to turn it so that get that view that's a little bit better. See over here the astronomy tweets, it's still pulling in the last few tweets from the Celestron website. Nothing really changed over here on my native features either, that's all the same. The weather, again, that's pulling in from longitude and latitude, and then here's the moon phase information. Basically shows you the percentage of phase, the age of the moon in days, and the illumination. So it's really important information for astronomy because contrary to popular belief, actually full moon is a terrible time to go out with a telescope because the moon is so bright, it kind of destroys your ability to see anything else in the sky. It's just so much light. And then if you're trying to look at the moon, that line that you see that when you see a crescent moon or a half moon, that line right there, the day and night terminator line, that's called, that gives you shadow. So that line actually makes the features of the moon really come out. So full moon's a terrible time to look at the moon or anywhere else. So it's important information to keep up with. But getting back to this, I did have it set up to where there were actually 6 of these, and I was going to show it to you that way, but when I turned it in, I only used 3. But you could actually make a calendar out of this, make it 28 days. So it was really cool. I really enjoyed it, and coming up with the way I kind of wrote one big, huge function that pulls all of this stuff in one shot. But I really did enjoy setting up the pictures. Now, the one thing that I would have done differently had I had more time was I would have made the pictures, the images, large enough to fill up that box, and then had them scale responsively depending on the size of the device. But to draw out 28 of those. I was way too constrained with time, so I took what I could get for free, and there it is. And I did try blowing them up, but they get too grainy. So, but all in all, I was really happy with the way that part of it came out. So let's see.